Totally bugged out. A Datura trip report by Deuce, posted to earwid.org October 21st, 2002. Just recently, I've discovered that the hundreds of plants growing uncontrollably on my family's farm are that of Datura. For years, I've been overlooking the plant as if it were any other, until a horse of ours got sick from ingesting quite a few leaves. The vet came out to check on him and informed me that the plant, aka Jimson weed, was poisonous if ingested by animals, but had a quite pleasant high if ingested or smoked by people. For a little over a year, I ignored this information entirely, along with the plant itself. Until one day, I was riding home from school with a friend, and we somehow began talking about the shortage of marijuana we'd been having, and the Jimson weed growing around my house was brought up. Really enthusiastically, she told me a friend of hers ate a few of the same seeds and tripped for over 12 hours. I almost laughed, but I told her I would check it out, and sure enough, the seeds were identical to Datura Stramonium. For nearly a week, I researched Datura and learned more than I thought possible about it. I thought it was a little much for what I'm used to, because I've never gotten stronger than marijuana or ecstasy, but I decided it was an experience that I was ready for. And unfortunately, I was very wrong. At around 9:30 on a Thursday night, I chewed and swallowed a teaspoon of the very bitter, black, mature seeds and washed them down with Gatorade. I chose Gatorade because of the intense dehydration that I'd read about. I had a sitter for this experience, we can call her Tori, which is needed while on this stuff, I will say. Around 10:45, my mouth became so dry that it was sickening and impossible to talk. I began to talk what sounded perfectly normal in my head, but utter gibberish to my ears and to Tori. It would have been very frustrating if I'd needed to say something important, but since I didn't, Tori and I found it entertaining. I got the dilated pupils and the constant using the bathroom thing, but besides that, it was nothing too intense. About an hour later, Tori and I decided to crash, which was fine with me because my throat was so dry that it was no fun talking whatsoever. I'm not sure what time I woke up, but it must have been around 10 AM because Tori had to be at work by 12. I was tripping hard, but nothing seemed too unnormal to me. Random people watching me go to the bathroom, Tori disappearing in the middle of our conversation, and spending hours in front of the mirror talking to my new friend, which turned out to be my reflection. As weird as this sounds, it was all seeming very normal to me at the time. Every once in a while, I would snap back to myself and realise I was tripping. I'd kind of laugh or shake my head at myself, only to find me doing it all over again a few minutes later. At one point, me and my sister, who knew nothing about me taking the seeds, was making my bed, and I kept telling Tori to get up so we could finish. But she'd just stare at me, even though I asked her more than once. My sister kept asking, "Who are you talking to?" "Tori," I would answer, and point to the corner of my bed where she was lying down. A little shocked and kind of scared, my sister said, "Tori left 20 minutes ago." And not believing her, I frantically began throwing back my bed covers expecting to find her and prove that she was, after all, in my bed. I kept putting things down that disappeared constantly. I'd walk around the house talking to every inanimate object that would talk back to me. None of this was too strange. It was until I looked in my closet. Me and a couple people I had never met before, obviously hallucinations, were going through my closet to pick out an outfit to wear to school, even though I wasn't supposed to be going to school for a few more days. I got kind of lonely after they disappeared, but kept looking for an outfit anyways. Suddenly, I spotted a shirt of mine with a few little white bugs on it. I panicked and my mind raced. What if these bugs are on me? I mean, I wear these shirts on the regular. It was after this that I instantly became paranoid. I looked on my arm and saw bugs digging underneath and crawling under my skin. I ran out of my room to find my mum, screaming to her about the bugs on my body. Of course, she said she saw nothing, but I just figured she was trying to comfort me. I continued clawing at the bugs, but they were too fast and strong for me to stop. My mum's first reaction from seeing me like this was that I was going through a bad acid trip. But from the seriousness and paranoia in my voice, she started taking me seriously. She then immediately called every doctor to see if any of them could take an emergency visit. She then drove me over to the first one available. FYI, because of this, I now have lost a great deal of respect for doctors. The doctor immediately looked at me and decided I was having an unexplained allergic reaction to who knows what. By now, though, I'm red all over and bleeding in areas where I tried to get these bugs. She figures the redness is my skin breaking out and not inflicted by my own self. I now have to apply this cream over my entire body and continue to take 1,000,000 antibiotics for something I don't even have, and only I know I never really had. So whoever decides they want an unforgettable experience, please be careful. Being scared beyond belief is no fun. And let me add that nothing about the entire trip was the least bit fun or pleasant. It was weird and confusing and 100% out of control. The pupil dilation left me totally letterblind for a week. The dry mouth left my throat hurting for an entire week. And not to mention, a mild depression about myself that continued after it. If you're looking for a good high for the night, please skip Datura.